Place the shell on its side. Then place the display head on top. Take the bass drum hoop and place it onto the head. Next, take the tension rods and insert them into the claw hooks. Insert a tension rod into each lug, making sure that the claw grabs onto the hoop. Tighten these up so that they are finger tight. Push down on the head with some force to seat the head onto the shell. You may hear some cracking sounds as you do this. You may need to tighten up the tension rods so that they are finger tight once again. Use a drum tuning key and tighten each tension rod by 2 full turns. When you have tightened one, the next one you do should be the opposite one. You may need to go around again by doing another half to full turn on each tension rod. The important thing is to make sure that the tension is the same all the way around and that there are no wrinkles on the head. Turn the shell over and repeat the process again. You may want to place a pillow or blanket inside to dampen the sound. Make sure that the head has the same tension all the way around and that there are no wrinkles. This head needs to be tuned. Take a drumstick and tap near to each lug. You should get the same tone all the way around, so you may need to do some fine tuning until this is achieved. Finally, you will need to attach the bass drum spurs, one on each side. Stand the drum up, ready to attach the tom-toms and the pedal. Put the beater rod through the hole at the top of the pedal and tighten up using a drum key. Clip the bar into the base of the pedal. Use the clamp to fasten the pedal to the hoop of the drum. Tighten up the wing nut. The tom holders are needed to attach the tom-toms to the bass drum. Insert them into the tom holder bracket on top of the bass drum and secure them with the wing nut. They can also be adjusted to the desired height and angle. Place the head onto the top of the drum. You can distinguish between the top and the bottom of the drum by looking at which way the badge is. Place the hoop on top of the head and put a tension rod through each hole of the hoop and screw into the lugs until finger tight. Seat the head by pushing down on it with some force. You may hear some cracking sounds when you do this. Screw the tension rods back to finger tightness if necessary. Take a tuning key and start by tuning one tension rod by one turn. Then do the opposite tension rod and so on until each has had one full turn. Go round again with the same pattern until each has had 2 full turns. You may need to go around again with 1 full turn or half a turn depending on the sound that you want. If you tap near to each lug, you should get the same tone from all of them. You may need to fine tune until you achieve this. Turn the drum over and repeat the whole process. You may need to tighten or loosen the tension rods depending on the sound that you want to get from your drum. Whilst the drum is upside down, you can take the opportunity to attach the legs. Place each leg through the brackets on the side of the drum and tighten up. Turn the drum over onto the legs and adjust to the desired height. Repeat the previous 5 steps for the other tom-toms. Open out the legs and then secure with a wing nut. Open out the cradle ready to hold the snare drum. This can be tilted and secured with a wing nut. Extend the stand to the desired height and secure. The snare drum then sits on top. First of all, open out the legs so it can stand sturdy on the floor and tighten up the wing nut that is nearest the bottom of the stand. You can adjust the height of the stand by pulling out the inner sections of the stand and securing by tightening up the wing nuts. At the top of the stand, you can adjust how much you would like the cymbal to tilt. The cymbal sits on top of the stand between the 2 felts and secured with a wing nut on top. Open out the legs of the stand and make sure it is sturdy before securing it with the wing nut. Fold the rod upwards and push down against the spring. While pushing down, screw the nut onto the bottom. Insert the bar at the bottom of the pedal into the base of the stand and tighten the wing nut. Position the top of the chain directly under the nut that you screwed onto the rod. Push down on the rod and twist it so that it is screwed down into the top of the chain. Once it is screwed in tightly, you can check you have done it correctly by pushing down on the foot pedal. If the rod moves down at the same time, then it is attached correctly. Place the outer section of the stand over the rod and adjust to the desired height and tighten the wing nut. Take off the nut from the bottom of the hi-hat clutch by unscrewing it and also the bottom felt. Place the clutch through the top hi-hat cymbal and then place the felt back on and screw the nut back on really tightly so that the cymbal doesn't wobble. Place the bottom hi-hat cymbal onto the hi-hat stand and then place the top hi-hat cymbal with the clutch attached on top. Hold the top cymbal a little higher and tighten up the wing nut on the hi-hat clutch so that there is a slight gap between the cymbals. They are now set up to play.